Comfort has always been an important part of my life. It guides me to make important decisions, to make new friends, and to accept myself. But it's also crucial to my faith. I think that comfort is necessary for worship, whether it be spoken or sung, and this is why I believe that liturgical music should make you feel comfortable, enough to sing it, enough to want you to go to Mass, and enough to praise God through song. However, it was only after taking one religion course that I was able to recognize this. When I was younger, I attended a public elementary school and I didn't really understand church and why my family needed to go. All that mattered during those days were my stuffed animals and Disney Channel. Mass just blended in with the other things I did and I was neutral towards it. As a teenager, Mass became a dreaded routine. It became a chore. It was boring. The readings, the music, everything was bland, and I grew to dislike the church's stances on things I believed in. I was annoyed almost all of the time and uncomfortable even in my own church. Ironically, I decided to attend a Catholic college and I was faced with the option of attending Mass every week. Surprisingly, I did, but it wasn't because I suddenly grew to like Mass. It was because I felt like I had to. The routine of attending Mass regularly at home was ingrained in me, so I went simply because I always went. At the beginning of my sophomore year at the college, however, I finally stopped. Then came the spring semester when I was registered to take a religion course regarding the Mass and its music. This class required me to attend Mass at 4 different churches in New York City, and each one offered a new experience. The first 2 churches, St. Ignatius Loyola on the Upper East Side and Corpus Christi in Morningside Heights, were gorgeous but traditional. While they were beautiful, I felt out of place and too intimidated by the music. I didn't feel a connection with either of them. A few weeks later, I attended my first Protestant service at Marble Collegiate Church, and if there's one thing that blew me away, it was the music. The strength of the choir's voice was extremely powerful, and each hymn full of meaning. It was so outstanding that it almost seemed too professional, preventing me from feeling worthy of engaging myself in the service. I felt inferior. St. Francis of Assisi was the game changer. This was the first contemporary Mass I'd gone to. The bass guitar, drums, and piano were played, and the hymns were sung in an upbeat way that I had never heard before. An odd feeling sprouted in my chest. I was excited to be in Mass. I didn't even check the time. The music was fun, I wanted to sing, and most of all, I was not intimidated. Mass was comfortable for once instead of a burden. My experience at St. Francis of Assisi allowed me to realize that the music's relevance is what personally made me comfortable. I wanted to engage myself so much more because the instruments and the modern takes of the song were familiar, and Mass didn't seem so monotonous anymore that it seemed like another chore. But relevance is something that is considered a mythology that does not appropriately fit with liturgical music. But if it was able to attract me to the Mass and encourage me to participate while still understanding that I was worshiping God, then how right can that argument be? According to the Sacrosanctum Concilium, singing should be encouraged. So if liturgical music makes you feel intimidated, inferior, and unable to participate because it's hard or you're nervous about it, like it did for me before going to St. Francis of Assisi, then it will only limit your ability to praise God and contribute to the congregational voice. So I believe that you shouldn't force yourself to like certain kinds of liturgical music, whether it be traditional or contemporary, because you will only make yourself feel out of place and awkward. I believe that you should go to a church with music that makes you comfortable and will leave you wanting to come back for more. It will only motivate you to increase your ability to worship God much better. My experience at St. Francis of Assisi changed me and my relationship with my faith. Now I know that my negative experiences in the past do not absolutely define how I will experience Mass in the future. Mass doesn't have to be a burden. I can be comfortable, and it all depends on liturgical music and its relevance to me.